And then from here, go ahead and reach one arm up into the air, up and over, side bend. Maybe you can drop an elbow down. Another little trick, let me see, is to lean onto a block or hand and look skyward. Good. And since you're close to the mirror, maybe you find like you could actually reach for it. That's beautiful. Good. Breathing in and exhale. And then we come up and we'll do the other side. So extending, inhale and exhale over. Nice stretch to your ribs, maybe lower arm coming down. And then from here, a twist. So you can turn either direction. Opposite hand, cross opposite knee, spine is long, sitting tall. And then twist the other direction. Spine is tall. And one more breath here. Inhale and exhale. Good. And then releasing. So, all right. So from here, we're going to go wide. And as you go wide, some like to turn on their mats. It just kind of depends on you. I like having my heels on the mat, so it makes a difference, doesn't it? And others don't mind it at all, but you know, sometimes just more comfy. And we circle. So you point, and when you flex, your knees bend. When you point, your legs straighten. And then reverse. So what you're essentially doing is moving into your toes, the tiny bones of your feet, tiny bones of your ankles. You're moving in your knee joints and you're moving into your hip joints. Good. Okay. And then we circle. So you start to get into the inner thighs and shift. Exhale down, inhale up. And let's reverse. It's nice to see everyone. All right. And then you have the lentil soup. So you really take your arms, kind of straighten them, and as if you're stirring a pot, engage your core. If you're tight, if your inner thighs are a little tight, you're really upright in this. And then some of you will find that you can really come forward and up with control. Don't tweak your back because you're engaged. Four. And then let's reverse. Inhale up, exhale as you stir forward. And one more. Excellent. And then you come out and you take your legs together and shake them out. Shake them out and really make that sound, that pitter patter sound. Your sound is louder than my own. Ooh, good. Sounds like a train's coming. All right. And then from here, we'll come on to our backs. So still working with warm-ups. As you're on your back, This one later we'll do from standing. So what I want you to do is let's pull right knee into chest initially. And then you're not holding anymore. You take your knee out to the side. It's hip circles. Your knee comes up, out to the side, and you can straighten your leg, and you're trying to engage your core so your pelvis doesn't move, doesn't rock so much. And then reverse the direction, same leg. Good. Great. And then let's do the other side. So you'll draw left knee to chest. And then begin your circle. And, you know, the session is really multi-level. It accommodates everyone. So you'll see when we do poses, there'll be the posture, and then there'll be ways to make it more challenging. Okay, let's reverse the circle with this second side and make the circles large, engage your core so you're not rocking too much. Good. Okay. And then releasing, pulling both knees into chest. And I always think bridge is a great way to get in touch with your spine, feel your flexibility. So Setu Bandhasana, you're reaching your pelvis up into the air, clasping your hands, tucking shoulders underneath you, and really lift your pelvis up high. And then actually, it's funny. Normally I can't see my feet in this pose. I just look by a mirror. And the tendency, I think, for many of us is to go too wide, to let the legs look like a V rather than 11. The feet like to turn out. So adjust your feet running parallel, your thighs running parallel to each other, and breathe. Can you press, as you're in this pose, can you press the ball of the foot down, raise the toes, spread your toes? And then lower the toes and lower your back. Good work. Julie, you're awfully quiet there. Okay. Pulling knees into chest. Usually she's like, gives an hallelujah when we're coming out of that. So pull knees right into chest, stretching your low back. You could rock slightly side to side, and then why not? Happy baby, reach for your feet. Knees go wide and stretch your low back further. That's what you get to do. Yep. Good for Julie. That's what that stands for, in case you're wondering. GFJ. All right. And then one more here on our back. So you're going to hold your right foot. It's half lotus. You're holding your right foot. So your right knee is pointing out to the side. You can flex your right ankle. It's an outer hip stretch. And then lift your head. And maybe it's just a little lift. Maybe you could bring your foot towards your head, towards your forehead, and breathe. So some like to bend the knee. That makes it a little easier. Others, you're trying to anchor your leg down. Release, straighten your right leg, take a breath in. You're resting your head for a moment, resting your neck, and then exhale, lift your head and see if you can walk your hands further up your leg without a strap. You're just going to the place you can go to. Maybe you can reach up in your head, reaching your knee, and lower the leg. Anytime you want, if you need to roll your head a little bit, move your head from side to side, that's fine. Holding the other side, grab hold of your left foot. So for some reason, I can't keep the music going. Whoa, it stopped. The second time. So I think, and Annette told me she had issues. It kind of the Bluetooth comes and goes. Because the Wi-Fi is coming. Yeah, I'm glad that our Wi-Fi isn't coming and going. So, yeah. Okay, so you're going to exhale, lift your head, bring your head towards your knee. And then lower your head. And begin to straighten your leg. Straightening your leg now. And as you straighten your left leg, ideally without a strap, you're going to lift your head again and you're engaging your core. Maybe you just reach behind the knee. Maybe you can reach higher, higher, who knows, higher. And you're trying to take your head towards your knee. You might have to bend your knee, you know, see what's possible. Maybe your straight leg is bent, see what's possible. The more athletic you are, the more running you do, more standing you do, the tougher that is. And then lower and lower. Okay, so we're coming up. And once we come up, oh, no one wants to come up. That's scary. Okay, wow, it's that kind of day, you know? Wait, I'm gonna revamp it. Okay, get a bolster. I'm just kidding. No, we're keeping my program. Okay, but remember the second half is seated. So let's come to child's pose and stretch your back. So I am so inspired. Last week I was with my family, with my nephew, who's more like my brother, John, and his wife and his two adorable girls. And we did a lot of yoga with the girls. Oh my gosh. Talk about limber spines, 5 years old and 7. Oh, so inspiring. You're gonna round your back. I want you to channel a child, come forward and arch your back, look up. If that's too much for you, because some of you mentioned wrists and shoulders, you can always do cat-cow instead. But if you can, you're rounding, you come forward and you arch. Cat-cow would be the easier of these from these. Okay, reach back. Inhale, come forward. Arch, maybe your knees are up this time. You're doing this version and back. So some are doing cat-cow, some are doing that one we just did, and others are doing a striking cobra. That's the more, I would just say more challenging of the three. So striking cobra, your pelvis up in the air, elbows are down, you come forward and you strike. I just did that slow. I want you to go faster. Have your feet together, knees together, and strike. Come forward, inhale, strike. We're going to do 2 more, wherever you're at. Back, you can watch, and strike. Good. Want you to look scary, strike. And come back, 1 more. Good. Strike. Beautiful. Okay. So from here, let's come back. Remember this, another idea here. We're coming to downward facing dog. But those of you who are watching your shoulders, you can go wide. I just stepped on either side of my mat and I don't have any weight on my arms. If your hands can come up, you're fine. But if you're doing downward facing dog, you have even weight distribution. Often when people are tight, it's not even. All the weight's on your arms. So when you can press back and stretch into your legs, that's what you're trying to do, is have even weight distribution. And honestly, for myself, I'm pretty open as close. I do not have even weight distribution. I don't think. I think it's definitely more on my arms. My arms are helping to hold me up. Okay, feet wide. Walk your hands back. And you're going to take your hands to your elbows and stretch your spine. Let yourself hang and breathe. I like that. You can swing side to side, completely relaxing your body. And then while you're here, look at your toes, and can you lift your toes again? Can you press the ball of the foot down and just raise the front toes? Yeah, without doing it with your hands. Just your toes, and spread your toes and then lower your toes. Okay. Let's come on up to stand. Let's stand. And swing the arms up into the air, up. And hands are to heart. So still looking at these little, there's one more warm up, and because of the conversations that happened before class, I thought you could use this. We could all use this. So it's called a leaf roll, and then we'll do a little like shoulder therapy. And maybe you're like, my shoulders are fine, but I think everyone's shoulders can use this. So let's come to a Your feet are about hip distance apart. You're going to bend your knees. You're going to slump around your back. You're coming forward. And you're going to come forward till your hands touch. Your fingers are a little curled in. It's called a leaf roll, and I think it's a spring thing. It's a leaf unfurling. It's a fern, a fiddlehead unfurling, opening up. So let's begin to roll up, but when your hands reach your knees, pause and feel a little ape-like here. Okay. Then start to make circles. If you're not certain, you could watch. I'm making circles with my arms. My head is, and then I had to initiate the circles, but now I'm just going to let my arms dangle. Ooh, it's kind of cool. And I initiated the movement, but now they're moving by themselves. And it's very therapeutic for shoulders, for rotator cuff, because your shoulders learn that they can move without pain. So it takes away the fear of movement, because pain is something we don't want. So, and then from here, continue to reach up. Oh, straighten up your back. Take the arms up into the air. Look up at the ceiling, reach back. And then hands are to heart center. That's a nice one, it's getting the shoulders open. So we begin our the movements, and believe it or not, there's like, it seems impossible, but there's 10 standing and 10 sitting, but you'll see it does work. So you're at the front of your mat, once again, and it's mountain. So number one is mountain. So you're looking at your feet, you can spread your toes, you can lift your toes. Want to see, how many people can't do this, it's good, but everyone here can, which is good. Yep, little toes up off the mat as well. Wow, Meredith, you've got some really strong feet. That's great. Just like I do. And then releasing, me too. And then hands are to heart. So when you reach your arms up, your feet are normal now. They're just kind of more spread out. Toes are more spread out. And then you look up and back. This is the second one. So this could be the way you do this. The easiest I could say, the most basic is your arms are in a vertical line. You tilt your head back. You're looking up with your thumbs, palms pushing together. If you'd like to try something different, bring your hands to your heart, separate your feet. It's like you're going to do a backdrop, but you're not going to today. You could if you want. Your hands are on your low back and you arch back. You're going to bend your knees. You're trying to look to the wall behind you. The deeper you go, the harder it would be to talk. Okay, breathing in. Exhale and come up. Hands to heart, chin down. So we'll do that again. Some are bringing arms up into the air. Some are bringing the hands, this time maybe to the back of your thighs. Bend the knees. Don't sink with your back. Lift your heart. Reaching. Good. And come out. Hands are to heart. By contrast, yes, a forward fold. So your feet are together and you're coming to Uttanasana. You're coming to a forward fold. So your feet are together and you're coming forward. What I would like you to do initially is just a pull out, like Ardha Uttanasana. You're looking forward, extending your back, and then coming again and let yourself hang. So ideally, you might have to use blocks, and your blocks, I would like them today to be alongside, on either side of your feet, not forward up, but either side. And then some of you don't need the blocks. So your fingertips are down, your fingers line up with your toes, and some of you have your palms flat. And breathe. Relax your neck. Even more so, we all are bending the knees so that you can bring this stretch into your back and not strain your hamstrings, even though it's still an amazing stretch. And some of you can do Hasta Padasana, your hand under your foot, hands slipping under your foot, your toes right up against the inside wrist, maybe. And breathe. And this, of course, this is a stretch the hamstrings, the calves, but also the back, your spine is stretching. This is wonderful for the nervous system, calming. And then let's go ahead and bring your hands onto your thighs, come up and notice the difference. So we see we're showcasing each pose. The next one is what I call low lunge. All right, so let's go ahead and take the right foot back. To make it easier, you would have blocks. I'll show that. I keep going left, right on my mat so that I can. And so if you want blocks, that's great because we do warrior one later. So we're just focusing on the lunge. And some are okay without fingertips down, palms down, fists down. And all the idea here is to stretch into your right hip flexor. Oh, let's say you're bored and you want more and you're like more. You could always bend your knee and then all of a sudden there you are into your quad. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, you never know. So where's my blanket? It's away from me. So I fold my mat in half and maybe you can also grab hold, right hand, right foot. You never know. You could also come up and turn. Well, I don't know. I think we have a taker or two. Maybe you can bring the foot to your crook of your arm. You never know. All right, we're going to release. Okay, and then let's switch sides. So right foot forward, left foot back. Again, I told you I call this a low lunge, but a lot of teachers, a lot of instructors call it a high lunge, but then I don't know what their low lunge is. Okay. So here we are. And again, I feel it's different. If I have blocks, I feel like I can lift up and get a different kind of stretch in my hip flexor. And then when I come down, it's just different. I kind of like the blocks. And the sides could be so different. The side blocks are like, they're a gift, okay? So you want to go deeper, you bring your back knee down. You could double your mat for a little extra padding, bend the knee, that might be it for you, or you reach up, left hand, left foot. And maybe you could slip the foot to the crook of the arm. And so sorry about the music. And then release. Okay, and we're stepping forward. Come to standing. Wow, feel your newfound legs, hip flexors and pause. So then we go to warriors. Okay, so let's step right foot back. And if you want, when you're setting this up, you could have your back heel up and then bring the heel down. Pelvis is squared, 90-degree bend. And instead of just bringing the arms up, let's imagine that you're flexing wrists. And just imagine you're having to push a wall away from you. That's a lot of work. And then adjust your hands so your upper body is more active. And then look up. You can separate the hands, lift your heart center. It's a variation of your Vajrasana one. But you can also add another variation, which is right arm over the other. You have the upper part of eagle. And you lift your elbows up. If not, just keep your arms straight. Bend a little more deeply into your left knee. And we release. And we're going to switch. Right foot forward, left foot back. And the heel, again, you could start with the heel up, pelvis squared, heel down eventually. Imagine you're pushing away that wall and really activate your arms. And then your arms will stay in that position, the palms facing each other. And breathe. Go a little wider if you like. Lift heart center. And then arms could be in a T, left arm on top of the other, elbows looking upward. It's sometimes called wild thing. It's a hybrid pose. And from here, we're going to step forward. So once you step at the front of the mat, I bet you could guess what comes next. It's downward facing dog. Okay. So how we'll do it, again, some of you are going to say, oh, I'm skipping that one because of it not weight bearing. So you'd be wide, okay? Or from the front of your mat, you step back, but you're going to step back in plank. And I want you to feel your strength. So strong. And then from here, go ahead and shift back. So you could, you know, finding your own song, you're going to have to customize the pose for your specific, unique body. So I always walk my feet a little closer in. I might have to have my hands a little wider. Find what works for you. It's like you have a rule, and then within that rule, it bends a little bit too, so you can customize. As you exhale, draw your navel in. As you inhale, expand your belly. Exhale, drawing the navel in. Okay, knees are down. We're coming to child's pose. So when you come back to child's pose, just take your hands to your heels, rest your wrists, lower your head. You're going to come to sitting, and it's in Virasana. I'm adding this one because I think this is kind of nice. I haven't been doing pranayama because a lot of people have masks, but today we can do it, and I'll even do it with my mask. So you're sitting in Virasana. I have a block under me. There's a block. So some of you don't need a block. You can sit on your heels. You can sit between your heels. And for this breath, it's for strengthening diaphragm, which is great for speaking loudly, for making your point come across when you need to. If you're with children, I actually taught, I went to the kids, my grandniece's school, and I used the diaphragm. I think they were surprised. I could pump that up. And one little kid said, how'd you do that? And I said, oh, let's do a breathing one. So basically what you're going to do right now, you can't see much, but you're going to breathe in through your nose. And then you're going to purse your lips like you're blowing out birthday candles, okay? And you're going to let the breath out. I'm going to pull this a little away from my face. Breathe in through your nose. Hold the breath in, a little bit of retention. Everything's relaxed. Your lungs are expanded. Exhale through your mouth. Okay, so we're going to make it more challenging. When you breathe in, before you do it, you breathe in, you hold. You exhale forcefully because you have 20 candles to blow out, and that's strong. Okay, breathe in. Exhale completely. Okay, you did well. We're going to move up to 25. Remember that day, 25 candles to blow out. Inhale. Exhale. We're going for it. We're going to go for 30. Inhale. And normal breathing. Hope you didn't get dizzy on that. So it's good for strengthening diaphragm. Interlace fingers, press palms up. You could stay on the block, or you could work with your feet. So it's going to be very similar. If you can curl your toes under, if that works for you, you can do it. So if you want, stay where you're at, or Take the block away, curl your toes under, and come to sitting. There is another little way some people will sit on a block, and that seems to work, okay? And just take a moment here, really stretch your feet. And again, interlace fingers and press palms up. Yeah, it's intense. It can be intense. Some are smiling, some are like kind of grimacing. It looks the same. I can't tell, Willow, if that's a grimace or not. I think it's halfway in. It's halfway. Okay, and then release. All right, and then from here, we're going to come to a forward fold. And the difference is you're clasping your hands behind your back. You're going to extend your arms and take your arms further and further from your back. Good. And imagine that your head is going to come to your knees. You're just taking your arms as far from your back as they'll go.
Do you care how straight your legs are?
Nope. In fact, I have my knees bent because this is a lot of hamstring work. So I don't, I just think if I bend my knees, my low back will benefit as well. So, and then soften, come up. Now keep your hands clasped. Look ahead of you. Lift your heart center, look up. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Create a crease between your shoulders. Look up and release. Okay, so you'll be facing, those in studio will be facing, you'll be facing the mirror, so it means your right foot will step back. And it's extended side angle. It's kind of nice to do these this way, like kind of showcasing each movement. The further you go, the more intense it'll be. The closer your legs in, the easier, okay? So we're going to bend the left knee and really have a good 90-degree bend. So it's extended side angle, but I'm gonna do like a warrior two, but I'm gonna push those darn walls. They want to cave in, and I'm like, no. Push them so your arms are strong, and then you extend through the fingertips, and then you come over. Elbow to knee modified, left hand, left ankle extended, and breathe. Beautiful. And again, sing your own song, right? This pose. This is the thing. At 9. Okay. So 16, 17 people. And we all look different. How about that? Everyone will look different. That's a good thing. It would be very scary if we all looked alike in the clothes. Now, if you want to go deeper, maybe you can connect your hands. So your right hand is from the back, left hand from the inside. Remember, it's like multi-level. So some are like, oh yes, I'll bind. And sometimes having a strap, you take your top hand has a strap and left hand reaches the strap. So, or not. Breathing in, exhale, and push and come up, and then we'll step forward. Ooh, and stand for a moment. I'm like, whoa, all over the place. And breathing. And second side. So your right foot steps back. This way so I can still see you. Your left foot. And some of you like to turn and still see yourself on the mirror. That works, whatever works for you. So bending your right knee and use your hands to push the walls away. Don't let the walls cave in on you, and extending the arms. And then you decide, elbow to knee. If you have elbow to knee, you're not going to be binding, right? If you have your hand on your ankle, you might be binding. It's your choice. And breathe. Now, if you want to bind, the top arm comes from behind. The inside arm goes in front of the right leg, and you connect. The shoulders have to be open also. Sometimes if the rotator cuffs are not healthy or hurting, that's not going to happen today. Again. Exhale. And come out. So last time I came out, I was all wobbly. So I come out, I find my new anchor, turn my head, and then come out. So it's like a little more step by step and you're more balanced. Hands are to heart. Okay, wide. So once again, those in the studio, you can face the mirror, you're gonna go wide. And there's just two more, okay? So of the standing. So here you are, your hands are going to slide down your legs. Maybe you stop at the knee, maybe you stop mid shin bone, oh, maybe you reach for your ankles, and maybe you can wrap your index finger, middle finger, your peace fingers around your big toe. And maybe your head drops down. So there is a little trick to that. You think, how in the heck can you get your head down? I go really wide with my feet. If my feet are close in, I can't come all the way down. So the feet are wide apart, but I can't afford to slip. So I have to make sure I have control with my feet. I've worked in this room long enough that I've strategized this whole thing, you know. If you're facing the bars, then it's really awkward because then you see yourself in the mirror. So, okay. Beautiful. Some of you are so clever. You have your head on a block, or you bring 2 blocks up. And if you want to go deeper here, we're going to just walk over to one side, left or right, it doesn't matter. Left or right, walk over to one side, bring your head towards your knee, and walk across the other way. Reach for the foot, bring your head to your knee. These are all like stress busters. It's like you're just taking all the tension out of your body. Okay, back to center, hands onto the low back, come on up. And walk to the front. Hands are to heart center. And so we've got prayer balance, which could be any way you like to do this. So right foot steps back. If your knee is down, I think you're going to need padding. But if your knee stays up, then you don't need padding. Okay. You can make the twist so much easier, or you take elbow across knee and you'll have your palms together. Yep. So right foot is back. And remember, easier is knee down, more intense knee up. Elbow comes across, palms together, and twist. You got it. The last of the standing. You'll want to drink water after some of these because there's twists coming too. You want to drink water after class, big glass of water. Let's reverse. So right foot forward, the other foot back. I always like to be a little more upright so my left arm can really reach. I create space and then I come across and move from your navel and breathe. Hands are pressing in against each other. And ideally, your hands are not so much at your right shoulder, but more towards your heart center. There you go. And finally, guess what? We're going to go back. We go downward facing dog. So you unravel the spine that was just in a nice rotation. Shake out your head. And eventually knees come down slowly. Extend your feet and lower your head. Hip to heel. And take a moment. Kind of noticing this journey. I always see the yoga session as a journey. The yoga practice is a journey. What is revealed to you? I don't know. Hopefully there's always a takeaway. Hopefully there's always something that you leave, that maybe something you discovered about yourself on this journey. maybe something you witnessed, or maybe it's a feeling that you captured that you like. And that becomes our movement that is a keeper, right? Okay, so we're going to come to sitting with your legs straightened. Okay. And legs are forward. And you're going to reach your arms up. Oh, I forgot. So some of you have straps, some not, but you know, it's okay. If you can't reach your feet, you use your strap. And if you don't have your strap, you can reach for your shin bones. I don't think you grabbed one, Katie, but would you like me to get one for you? I can grab it. Okay. Yeah, I'll get one. Anyone else need a strap? Oh, you know, yes. It's fast, very fast. Okay. Yeah. Yoga sprinting. So you're here. You know, here's what I say. I think if you need a strap, I think that it's probably best if you need a strap to work on straight back. Because you need a strap, you might be really tight and your back might overly round. So, and then if you can reach, usually you can come forward, even though the back will round, you know, it's okay to be in that position, just from time to time you will extend. If you want more challenge, just for those who want more challenge, you could go into plow. Did I say that well? I'm trying to make it sound really exciting. You could try plow. You could come over into plow and maybe you're like, oh, holding, supporting feet in the air, or maybe your legs come up overhead. Hello. They're similar in that these are both spinal stretch and leg stretch, but Halasana also has that extra, you know, focus on the thyroid and the neck. And you're coming out. Now, wherever you're at, I would like you, when you come out, I would like you to, if you were in plow, you're on your back for a moment. If you come out, you're like in Dandasana. So I'm going to go ahead and do Dandasana. If you were in plow, come to stand. It's hard to tell the two things you do. So Dandasana. Basically, you have your hands, you push it. The goal is not to lift your body. Danda is a staff, like a walking staff, one on pilgrimage. So your staff, it's one of the few places where few poses where you'll hear me say, be rigid. We don't say that a lot in yoga, but here I have to say, be rigid, be that staff. Someone's depending on you. You have to be strong.
So you're taking some of the weight.
Yeah, you're taking a little of the weight off. What's weird is everyone's got different body proportion, like your torso versus your arm. So my arms are long and my torso is short, so I lift up easily. So sometimes I go back a little bit or out a little bit, but the idea is to you're just lifting slightly. And then I want you to draw your stomach in and puff up your chest. And use your back muscles, and then release and roll out your wrists. All right. So when you do plow, as some of you did, it's good to open the neck. Traditionally it's through fish, but we'll do something different. So come onto your belly and we usually call it the Sphinx, but really it's the Sanskrit name is Salam Bhujangasana. It's the kind of like the upright cobra. It's a cobra family. And some of you can extend your arms deeper. Tops of the feet are down. Some say, old school, you say feet together, feet together. And I say if your feet go apart, let them be free. I want your back to be happy. And that's kind of a newer way of teaching, not just. Ooh, release and take hold of one foot. Draw the heel in. And if you can, if you're good with it, go ahead and grab both feet. So it's a quad stretch. And I know some of you can do bow. And it's nice because when you do bow, now that's it, that neck opening we're looking for. And I need more padding underneath. So it's worth your while to be comfortable. Kick, some point, some flex, and rock as well. In Kundalini Yoga, they call this the elixir pose, the fountain of youth pose, because your spine gets really limber. Release and lower your head. Exhale, feel your heart beating. Shalabhasana, Lotus. Feet they start out close together. Some can keep them close together. Mine drift apart. That's okay. You're going to bring your hands back by your thighs. Lift your upper body without straining your neck. So if you don't lift very much, try not to look forward. It's going to not be so nice for your neck. See if you can lift, and then lift your legs. And if it's better just to do the upper body, that's okay. Or just lifting both. And then you go out to a T and maybe forward. And that I look down, it's better on my neck. And lower, bring your forehead down. Julie, how you doing with the mask?
That was killer.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah. It's like someone put Evian spray on my face. Just from that one. Okay, if you want, do that again. If you prefer to come into Sphinx, you can do Sphinx, okay? Which is Cobra on your elbows, okay? So lift. I want to watch this time. Yeah, beautiful. And like for me, it's safest on my back. My back feels really good. My hands are back. When my arms come out to a T, it's more challenging. Arms forward, the most challenging. See what is possible. Yeah, beautiful. Wow. Some strong backs come out. Rest your forehead down. Let your entire body relax. Breathe. Take another breath here. And from here, curl back into child's pose. Oh, good. That clock is fast. I'm like, oh, good, because I do have one more seated twist that I'd like to do. Bharadvajasana is a good one. So right from child's pose, I'll do it my back too. I think it's okay to do that. And no, because they can't. Well, I'll try it and then I'll turn around and talk more. They can hear. Okay, so you're kind of, it's like you're sitting, and oh, you know this one, Katie knows this. You're going to shift your pelvis to the right, your feet are to the left, pelvis to the right, and you separate your feet. You draw the back foot in. Hopefully you can see online, and I don't know how well you can hear me with my face away from the screen. And then if you want to go deeper, like this is fine. You can work like this. Some of you can go into half lotus, maybe, okay? And then as you're here, you're turning to the right. And it's got like an arch to it. It has a little sass to it. Your right hand, maybe, right hand can reach your left thigh, who knows? Or right hand, right foot. Yeah, there you go. And some use a strap to reach the foot, and you're, now this is only a third of the pose. You are twisting to the right, but your head will go to the left. And to further confuse your nervous system, eyes go to the right. Eyes are open. They close your eyes, bring everything over to the right again. It's called the reset pose because you're resetting. It's like you're a computer. We're going to reboot you because something's gone wrong. I can't figure it out. So we're just going to turn things off, reboot, and usually that fixes it. That's what I do. Okay, so you just reboot it and release. Oh, and do the other side. Stretch out your legs. Mary, I can see you. Can you hear me with my back turned to you? Can you go like that? Okay, good. All right, so second side, knees go to the left. And you're, again, it's like I don't want my foot like that. I want to draw in. Maybe you can go into that half lotus, twist left. Yeah, yeah, there you go. You're twisting towards the foot that might be in half lotus. And if you want to go a little further, maybe your left hand can reach left foot, kind of weird. And you're turning and breathing. And then, yeah, we're gonna confuse the nervous system on purpose. Okay, so you're gonna turn your head to the right, and you're gonna take your eyes to the left. That's kind of crazy. And then we'll close the eyes, and we're gonna twist, bring everything to the left. Now open your eyes, look back, and hopefully you went a little further. And release. Julie, what's that called? When we do, like in massage, she'll go, oh, your knee's not opening out, and then she'll go press, 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 and then you let go. Hold, relax. Hold, relax. I kind of feel like that's a hold, relax. Like it's tricking your nervous system, where it's triggering something that's going to let you go. You're confusing your nervous system. it reboots. So guess what? Shavasana. Come to lying on your back. Feel like a sponge. You've been wrung out. And then now we're just going to dip you back in the water. You're going to draw in all that goodness. You're going to draw in light, hope. You're going to notice how much tension you were holding. Your body doesn't need to hold that much tension. I know it's so hard. It's so hard to not take in. So the yoga practice helps us to really establish a place of peace, a place of equilibrium. And as you're lying here, once again, I'll read the poem I read earlier on, a poem by Robert Sund, S-U-N-D, actually a Washington poet. He actually passed away in 2001. He lived by himself in a cabin on the Olympic Peninsula, communing with nature. This is from the book Out at Shai. I whistled with the birds in the drift. I drove them crazy, I think, until at last I could sing like a bird. I had my own song like them. Let's begin to deepen the breath. As you are ready, you start to move your hands and your feet. It's never long enough. 5 minutes is never long enough, I know. So hopefully, maybe sometime during the day, you could find another moment where you're like, where's that towel? Well, can I lie or sit quietly, maybe listening to birdsong? And as you come to sitting, we will end the session with an Om. For those online, you're welcome to turn on your audio if you like.